I've stopped buying the basics like paper towel, new shirts, coffee filters, and new underwear. But these are some more extreme things I've stopped buying as a minimalist. Okay, like half of those were a joke, but these are some actual things that I have stopped buying to simplify my life and also save money. Style. As you can see, I pretty much just wear black all the time. I have a few other colors of shirts, but my pants are always black. I've just stopped trying to chase any type of style, keep up with trends, anything like that. Found a few things that I'm comfortable wearing, I think look fine. I haven't added to my wardrobe in years. It's pretty much just been replacing things that break, and it's way easier. Another little change that I made was only doing black socks that all match each other. They're all the exact same ones. I know it's weird and doesn't really matter, but never having mismatched socks and never worrying about if you lose them is kind of nice. Supplements. Now I have actually changed my mindset on this a little bit over the past couple of years. So pretty much I did stop getting protein powders. I eat a healthy, balanced diet, so I don't think I really need any more protein. I eat a decent amount of meat, so that's something I've stopped buying. However, I do take either a multivitamin or like a green powder every day because I don't really have vegetables. But as far as the people who just take tons of different supplements and protein powders and pre-workouts and post-workouts and all this stuff, I think if you eat pretty healthy most of the time, you don't need all those things and they won't really improve your life that much. So I went from spending a lot of money every month on all that stuff years ago to pretty much only having like either a multivitamin or a green drink every day. And the rest I felt really zero difference with or without. Shoes. I do have shoes. I used to buy shoes for fun. I would buy them every couple of months. I had multiple different pairs depending on what I was doing. But now since I've really simplified my wardrobe, I also only pretty much wear barefoot shoes. These ones are from Field Ground. I've felt a lot better since I switched to these. I also wear sandals during the summer. But just not having a billion options for shoes and keeping it simple has been nice. And I only have to buy like one pair of shoes every year or every other year depending on how much I use them. So I like it. Games. I used to play a lot of games, especially on my phone, and I would end up spending money on them. I had one game when I was like in my later teens that I spent hundreds of dollars on. And ever since then, I have stopped ever having games on my phone. They're not allowed because I absolutely get addicted to them if they get on my phone. And most of the games nowadays are really rigged to get you to spend money. So while I have no problem buying like physical games that I know I'm going to use multiple times, when it comes to phone games that are going to suck my time away and my money, I'm just never doing that again. Bottles of water. Besides this bottle, which I fill with water and then I bring out and then I don't have to buy water when I'm out, which seems like a waste. So I just get a refillable one. And I always make sure I fill it when I go places. It seems small, but like a surprising amount of my friends don't do that. So worth the investment? Impulse purchases. It's stupidly easy to spend money, especially online nowadays. So I had to take Amazon off my phone because I could not be trusted. I also created a list, which is generally right there. There's nothing on it right now. And then when I think of something that I absolutely need, I write it down on the list. And that's helped me impulse buy so much less stuff, especially online, which has let a lot less crap into my life. Name brand things. There's a couple here. One of them would be phone plans. I used to have Verizon. I finally switched over to Mint Mobile, which you guys know, partner of mine, not sponsoring this video. I just used them and my phone prices went like way down. And I know people who have not switched to them because they want to stick with the name brand one. I'm like, this one's way under half the price and it's pretty much the same thing, but people just really want the name brand. I did the same thing with our Wi-Fi where I switched from Comcast, whatever we had before, to like a competitor that came up. This was under half the price for faster internet, and I still know people who don't want to switch because it's name brand. Name brand means nothing when it comes to anything. So yeah, I don't pay for name brands anymore. Razors. So I know this isn't like the biggest thing in the world, but I stopped shaving 5-6 years ago. Now I trim my beard like once a week. The amount of time that saves every single morning or every other morning, and then the amount of money that it saves, because I had a trimmer for years until I fried it in Europe because apparently the electricity is different there. And then I have this one, which is like $20 or something. The amount of money and time that it saves is ridiculous. Buying cheap gear and other things. As you know, I am very into frugal living, but occasionally that has ended up costing me Actually a lot of money when I would try to save money on big purchases. I bought a cheap laptop and fried it like within a couple months with editing. Bought a cheaper camera before this one, and that one died. I bought a cheaper lens and I never ended up using it because it was like garbage. This one's actually nice. I've used this jacket now for like 3 years. It is very nice. It was also more expensive than the ones I used to have, but I used to get like $40 ones and they would like fall apart within a year, especially in New Hampshire when it's snowing. I use them a lot. They get torn to shreds. This one's actually nice. So investing in quality stuff has actually saved me a lot of money and just made my life a lot easier. I don't know, it's nice to not replace things like every year. Subscriptions. So we all know that you shouldn't have a bunch of subscriptions, especially ones that you're paying for. You can get ones that are free for like 30 days. That's how we get most of our streaming stuff. When there's a show that we specifically want to watch or a movie, we'll get it free for 30 days, then we'll delete it and then we watch way less TV. However, some free subscriptions are really good. Like you can subscribe to this channel. It is absolutely free. Like 70-something% of you guys are not subscribed. If you click the button, you get some value. You make me smile. Thank you very much. Cooking spray. I know it's small, but it's one of those things that I just used to cycle through all the time. And since we actually switched to these pans, which are like, I think they're Caraway, they're completely non-stick and it's a non-toxic non-stick one. It's been like a year or something now and I haven't had to buy any cooking spray. Can occasionally use oil or butter, but it's just one of those reusable things like paper towel where once you cut it out and you replace it with something that you could just wash, or like this, just get a better quality pan. Also got to stop buying a bunch of crappy pans. Then you realize how dumb it was to just buy one of those like every other month. Now kind of going along with that, I'm gonna say Tupperware. We used to have bags of Tupperware, the lids would get lost, they'd just be all over the place. Maybe that was my problem, but we again got something a little more quality, which are these, again, Caraway. Not a sponsor, but there is a link with a discount code. And since we switched to that, we haven't lost anything, and these are gonna last literally forever. We're not gonna have to replace them all the time. And they stack like that. And then they also have a place where they belong, so we don't lose them. It just makes things so much easier. Like Tupperware used to be so annoying for me, so I really enjoy this. Disposable pens. This is a small one, but we used to have a drawer full of like 50 pens. We'd get them from everywhere for free, all this random stuff. And I switched to one high quality pen that's actually really nice. To be fair, someone did send this to me, but I've never gone back. There's actually no logo on it. I don't know who it was. And it's just nice. I keep it with my notebook that I use every day. I haven't lost it, and I have a really nice pen to use every time, and it has one place where it belongs, so it doesn't get left all over the place. Just like simplifying. Christmas gifts and toys. This cardboard box is currently one of my daughter's favorite toys. And we've been doing this for a while where we're not really buying a bunch of gifts or toys for either our daughter or for each other. And instead, we're spending that money on experiences. We've been traveling more. For holidays, we'll go out and do some type of event with friends or family or just with each other. We'll go away for a weekend. And we're doing that and building memories and experiences instead of just getting more stuff, especially stuff that you're just buying because you feel like you need to buy somebody something because it's their birthday or it's Christmas or whatever. Instead, we're being intentional and trying to gift experiences instead. Which leads me into hobbies. This is a lesson that took me a while to learn, where I would really get into something for like a month and I would buy gear for it, and then I would lose interest and move on to something else. Most recently was last year sometime when I bought this amp because I was getting into playing guitar for again like a month, and then I haven't used it in like a year. So that was the last time I let that break, where unless I'm doing a hobby for an extremely long time, I'm not gonna spend money on that hobby. I should probably donate this. It's a really easy trap to fall into, but you gotta avoid it. Haircuts. This year was the first time in my life I actually ever paid for a haircut, and that was because we were in Athens and my razor had burned out, and honestly I wasn't a big fan. But anyways, Meredith learned how to cut my hair. It's pretty basic. I've learned how to cut hers a little bit. I've never actually gone to a barber to get a real haircut, and over your life that saves you an insane amount of money if you can just learn the basics of how to cut your own hair. It doesn't have to be amazing. Plenty of people do it. You can learn how to do it as well, or trade off with a friend where you cut theirs, they cut yours. It's not for everybody, but it's something I do. Junk food. We have stopped buying most things that come in packages or are pre-made and try to do everything as much as possible, like either from scratch or just have real whole foods. And doing that has made me feel so much better, have so much more energy. My skin has cleared up. It's just been really, I think, good for me. And then when you don't have junk food in the house because you don't buy it, you're not tempted to eat it when it's like 11 o'clock at night and you have the munchies. As they say, you lose weight at the grocery store, so if you don't buy it, you won't eat it. Investing fees. Instead of hiring a manager to do my investing for me, I spent like 20 bucks on a book called The Simple Path to Wealth. It told me to invest in low-cost index funds. I do that myself on an app called Webull. It's super, super simple. Again, not a sponsor, but there's a link. So yeah, I don't have to have somebody taking 1% of my profits or 1% of my money or anything like that. I can just invest super easily myself, and over the course of your life and your investment journey, that can end up being thousands or tens of thousands of dollars that you would have paid in fees to these different people to do pretty much what you can just do yourself by reading one book. Cheap coffee, an expensive coffee, a lot of coffee. So this happens in two different ways. One, I don't go out and buy coffee at coffee shops besides like once a month when I go and work at a coffee shop. Everybody knows that saves you money, but also I don't buy really cheap coffee when I'm home. I do support a local shop and I buy their coffee, which is really nice, but it's still way cheaper than buying stuff at like Starbucks. And for me, I would rather spend the extra 20 cents a day or whatever it comes out to and really enjoy my cup of coffee than have the absolute cheapest thing possible. And then you end up putting cream and sugar in it, which adds a little bit to the cost, but also makes it worse for you. I'm having it black. I'm making it in a Chemex. I'm not drinking a ton of it, so I'm okay with spending a little more on quality coffee while still saving a decent amount of money, and it's not all that expensive. Now, this is a car. I've talked about this before, but we have one car for me and my wife. We both work from home. We do have access to borrow other cars like once a month or once every other month when we need to, or take an Uber. But the amount of money that we save by just having one car compared to two is more than everything else in this video. It also forces you to be a little bit more simple, which I'm totally fine with. So a car. A bunch of baby stuff. Part 2 of this, which is another list of 25, is going to be over on my wife's channel that she is just starting, and she's going to talk about more stuff that she doesn't get as a mom. So if you're a mom and you want to check that out, that channel's specifically kind of geared towards that. If you're a guy, probably not going to get most of the stuff over there. So yeah, if you're interested in part 2 of this, there's a link down below. Check it out. It should be really good. I'm going to talk about more toys and stuff she doesn't get as a girl, different tips on being a mom and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to check that out, there's a link. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week.